Hello everyone and welcome to Action RPG. I'm your host Aaron, and for today's video we're headed to the world of Last Epoch. Mike, one of the senior developers from 11th Hour Games, held his normal Friday Q&A live stream on Twitch, which means I get to bring you Dev Chat 38. Mike answered lots of good questions from the community. I took a 3 or 4 week break from Dev Chats just because there wasn't really any new information about what is coming for 085. And now Mike is starting to get more into what is going on in the future, so I am ready to bring them back. Now, before we start, I'm hoping in early 2022, today is the day I have earned your subscription. I'm hoping today is the day you make the decision to push that little red button. Truly means the world, helps push the channel forward in 2022. All right, as always, I will share my thoughts. Please feel free to share yours in the comment section below. Here we go. All right, Mike, first question, what's going on behind the scenes? What is 11th Hour Games truly focused on right now? Go.
We're putting a ton of work into multiplayer right now. It's really like what needs the most work. We have to get it done.
Yes.
So we're spending a lot of time on that. That's a primary focus right now. I mean, it has been for a while, but like it's everything we've got. We've got to just get it as solid as possible, as fast as we can.
Bug.
There was a lovely bug where if you did exactly what I just did, where if you bear charged into, oh, it still was there. It's gonna be like, I fixed it, it's so great. Still there.
Fail. Someone then asked Mike, what about secret areas inside of Last Epoch? Do they have any function?
Maybe. I'm so tempted to just like make So the jerk answer to that question is, who says it doesn't have a function now? Not what I'm saying, just for the record. But we try and hide things in the game as much as we can. Little secrets and tidbits. I saw a post this morning about the floor in the MRest, the space between monoliths, where there's like the chest and the reward and the stash and everything. On the floor, there's a clock symbol with a couple hands, and it points at like 11. Because it's 11th Hour Games, and so like there's little things like that. We hide things all over the place.
I love that. Little Easter eggs, and they've said in the past that those secret areas, they do want to develop more of them, and they will serve some form of purpose, even if it's just loot. I really liked this question, and Mike gave us a little bit of a long-winded answer. Mike, how do you think support is going to play a role once we get multiplayer?
Yeah, I think support play in an RPG is really tough to do right. It kind of tends to either be, like if we're talking about like a, from a competitive sense where you're pushing content and it's like the super top end stuff, it's tough to do right. And it's rare that it actually works. Or it ends up being unbelievably overpowered amazing, where it's just the only way to go. It seems to really, the pendulum swings far. It's kind of the feeling I have on it, of what I've experienced, and
I agree.
I think support is one of those roles that, and when I say support, I mean like healing, like purely CC, like purely buffing. Like there's all sorts of roles that support can take. It's not strictly just I'm a healer. That is one type of support, but it's not the only type. And I think the people who like to play these quite often really like to play them. Regardless of if they're amazing or not, like if they're like OP or the top tier or whatever. And I think there's a lot of people that really hate to play them, but feel like they have to if it is the top tier. So while we are putting a lot of skills into the game that can be used in support roles, like simple things like curses on Acolyte, or there are like there's lots of healing things you can do with Spriggan in. Oh my god, I died because I wasn't paying attention. Whoopsie. There's a lot of healing stuff you can do, and like Paladin has healing hands, and there's Holy Aura. And we're seeing lots of interesting things in multiplayer testing with those abilities already. And I think there's lots of opportunities for support to be really fun. And there was some guys that were playing, someone was playing Holy Aura and someone was playing a throwing build. And so the Holy Aura player wasn't even playing a throwing build, but he was taking the throwing nodes on it specifically to help the person that was playing a throwing build. And I thought that was really cool.
Love Holy Aura.
So yeah, I think what a long-winded way of saying is we want support to be a thing that people can play, but we don't want it to be mandatory to take into a group. So we don't want you to be like, okay, who's my tank, who's my support? Like, we don't want this, like, the Holy Trinity is not something we're working towards. We're not trying to be, okay, you got like 2 DPS, a tank, and a healer, and that's your party. No. It's, you have some people that want to play together and maybe try and make some synergistic builds if you can, but have fun.
Oh, we have some ideas, Mike. Now, this is truly new information. I'm going to allow Mike to read the question.
Will there be a closed beta for multiplayer or something, or will we just release it when it's ready? There will be a limited release multiplayer. Oh my gosh, those are wow with no questions. That's cool. There will be a limited release multiplayer that we will start with a small population of our player base, and we'll ramp it up slowly. Few reasons for that. If we just said, here's the floodgates, open them, chances of us having horrible problems are really high. And so probably not just going to be like floodgates open first time we release it to anyone type thing. But yeah.
1, I want to be in that first group of people. 2, it would appear they have learned from others' mistakes. This question comes through once in a while, and let's see if 11th Hour Games has changed its stance. Mike, what do you think of auto-casting skills using the Numlock trick?
I don't like it. I think it's kind of a weird way of circumventing, like, playing the game. But it's not something that we're like you may have noticed that there's nothing in the game to stop you from doing it at all. There's no like warning, there's no like attempt at anything to stop it really. Oh, it's my cold res. Yeah.
He's about to die.
It's kind of low too. Chit.
So out of the, I don't know, 50 builds that I've made for 11th Hour Games, I've never included a build that requires autocast, because for the longest time and continuing, 11th Hour Games has said that they do not like it, and any skill that feels better when it's autocast, they feel like it is a design flaw on their end, and then those skills end up getting changed. And it appears their thoughts have not changed. All right, Mike, what skills or characters are next for reworks or skill upgrades?
I do not know. I can't answer that question because I do not know.
Wait a second.
I think there's a few that are that, like, if we look at objectively together, we can sort of get a pretty good idea for ones that will be reworked sooner than other, like specific skills. And like, I think all you have to do is kind of look at the skill trees, and you'll see some that are a little bit more bare compared to some others. That was completely unintentional, but I heard myself saying it.
Get it, bear, because he's playing a bear and it's a bear skill. But also a little Easter egg, because in the new character creator, when you select your class, you've got the bear there with the Primalist. And you have to think that the bear is one of the oldest skills in the game, and obviously it doesn't hold up to LE's today's standards, and he happened to click on that skill. New bear skill coming? I think so. At the end of the stream, Mike gives us one little Easter egg, a little teaser about something small that is coming for 085. I will take it.
Oh, I also added. Here's a teaser for next for later. Something's coming next patch. You can in the monoliths, you know how in the world you can right click on, you may not know this, but you can right click on a waypoint in the world to go to that waypoint immediately, but you can't do it in the monolith. I've added it to the monolith. There we go. We got something.
Woo! All right, everyone, we have come to our final question. I'm allow Mike to read the question and give his long answer on shared progression across all your characters. I hope you all enjoyed Dev Chat 37. Let me know your thoughts in Mike's answers in the comment section below. I'm sure you've heard by now that I've officially started a Twitch, streaming on Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, having so much fun with the ARPG community. First link in the description. Also in the description is over 20 up-to-date build guides. So if you're looking for something, if you are new to Last Epoch, down there you will find my advanced guides with advanced build planners and loot filters. I hope you all enjoyed Dev Chat 38. Mike, take it away.
Are there any plans for shared character corruption bonus? Currently, a character gets a corruption bonus to a new timeline until they reach the max of the previous timeline. This would be a major quality of life upgrade for alts. Yes, I think this is actually a really good example of quality of life used right. Yeah, I think that there's a wider discussion we need to have, and that is on the topics. It's like I typed it in as a topic for a meeting in the very near future. Just yesterday I was typing that in, and it's about shared progression, shared character progression, like on accounts, like what things are and aren't shared progression, and just taking a look at all of our different progression axes and seeing which ones we want to and don't want to have be shared. Because like one that is shared that might seem kind of like a weird thing, is that a progression axe? I mean, yeah, technically it kind of is stash. So right now when you unlock stash tabs on one character of the same type, so softcore, hardcore, it unlocks on all of them. So that is a shared axis of progression that we do already have. One that's really common that gets asked for is empowered monolith unlocks. So being able to say like, well, I unlocked empowered monoliths as a whole. Should I just be able to hop into empowered monoliths right away on my alts if I want? Maybe. It's something we haven't really talked much about yet, but we're going to talk about it. Another thing I've seen proposed is like, okay, if I complete empowered spirits of fire, I now can access empowered spirits of fire on any class that has spirits of fire unlocked just on its own. There's lots of different suggestions I've seen around this, and I have no idea if we're going to go with any of them, but shared progression for alts in general is something we're talking about.